Alright, PBA goers. This is Aaron here bringing you guys week 1 versus the Gainesville Gudras. And let's actually go over to her page real quick, where she has Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Fortress, Mega Gallade, Manaphy, Crobat, Chandelure, Amoonguss, Chansey, Sneasel, Meloetta, and the Slurpuff. Now, out of all the teams here, I would say Mandy's is one of my favorite. It is just all around good. All of her checks line up okay. Very afraid of the Koko and Mega Gallade. Garchomp and Chandelure, Manaphy, Fortress is a pain in the ass. Moongus is the pain in the ass. And to top it all off, she has a special wall in Chansey. Something pretty powerful in Sneasel, and if you let Slurpuff set up, man, it's game over no matter what. And honestly, I'm not very confident to get on my team against her. She has a very fast team, mixed in with some pretty good bulk. And with that, it's very hard to work around. And I think I got the team, but I would not be surprised if I get 6-0'd. I'm telling you that right now. I do have a huge sweeper that I calced everything, and then if she brings the things that I think she's going to bring, I might be able to sweep her with that Mon. But I will let you guys look at it yourself. I don't even know, honestly. I really don't even know. But anyway, we're going to start off with my Victini set. Expert Belt with Glaciate, V-Create, U-Turn, and Fusion Bolt. Now looking at her team, again, her main focus is speed, especially with basically the top row except for Fortress and Crobat and Manaphy to there too. Sneasel a little bit, sure. Slurpuff definitely. But her team is really fast. Out of the top row, other than Fortress and Crobat and Manaphy, Manaphy is the slowest at base 100, and that's pretty fast. So Glaciate would definitely help me out, big time, especially if Garchomp comes in, because Garchomp actually does outspeed. Oh, wrong one. Does outspeed Victini naturally by 2 points. If I'm able to get the Glaciate off, anyway, I want to switch in. Not only is that going to do massive damage, but that means the next turn, as long as it's not Scarfed, I do outspeed it. V-Create, obviously I'm going to do V-Create. It is a very powerful stat move. Does mean I need to switch out every turn. So I might change that to something else. I'm not entirely sure, but V-Create is there for right now. U-turn, in case I do have a good matchup like Fortress is out, go for U-turn on something, and we're golden. Fusion Bolt is there mainly for the Manaphy. If he goes into Manaphy, I go for Glaciate. It's going to do about 10% with the Glaciate, and then do about 80 with the Fusion Bolt. So if it has any sort of damage on it, I should be able to kill it with those 2 moves, and we'll be able to outspeed it with the after the Glaciate. So that's really good there. Next up, I have Gligar, and now looking at her team, a lot of physical attackers. Crobat, there's Koko, there's Garchomp, there's Mega Gallade, there is Sneasel as well, Slurpuff also. So I kind of focused a little bit more on the physically offensive side rather than the specially offensive side. If she brings Hidden Power Ice or Sneasel, I'm kind of screwed. Well, not really. I guess I'll be okay. Not with Gligar, but with my other Mons in the back. But Gligar is... Oops, I'm sorry about that. Sierra is texting me. But anyway, Gligar is one of my physical walls. Max HP, max defense, Earthquake, Defog, Roost, and Toxic. Definitely need Defog on the team for the Fortress. And Earthquake is just... hits everything, really. Except for Crobat, which I'm not too worried about Crobat. Toxic is definitely just to whittle down the walls that she has. Although... actually, I might want to change that to something else. Probably rocks, actually. Because her walls are basically immune to toxic, so I don't really need it. So I'm going to go for stealth rocks. And as you guys see, the rest of my team. So next up, we have Suicune holding the Wakanberry Mirror Coat. I do plan to lead with this because Koko is such a good lead for her team. Don't really have too many electric immunities other than Gligar, and she can easily just Volt Switch out and get the start that she wants. If she sees Suicune leading off, she's more than likely going to go for a Volt Switch, thinking that I'm going to switch. I live it with a Wakanberry. I'm going to Mirror Coat whatever she wants to bring in, and most likely will die. So also it's going to be a very physical wall. Should be able to take on the what's it called? Mega Gallade. Should be able to take a close combat pretty nicely and go for a Scald and should be able to take it out. Scald, Rest, and Roar. I do not want the Garchomp setting up. Do not want anything setting up in front of me. Roar is definitely there. Rest is obviously there to get rid of the setup Mon. Next up we have Terr-akion, Choice Scarfed, Adamant Natured, and I thought that this paired up very nicely with Victini. And now the reason why I'm going Adamant instead of Jolly, I know that's a huge risk, and if it bites me in the ass, I'm going to be the first one to admit it. It's like, I should have gone Jolly. If I lose because I went Adamant instead of Jolly, then that is against me. But she really doesn't have that many switch-ins to Terr-akion. Other than, like, if I predict the Chandelure correctly, then that's not a switch-in. If I predict the Crobat, I go for Stone Edge. Oh, again, wrong tab. You know what? No, I'm gonna record that video. So yeah. Predict like a Crobat or something. I'm gonna go for Stone Edge right there. Garchomp is not a switch-in. None of these bottom rows are switch-ins to Terr-akion. Amoonguss is not a switch-in. Fortress can probably take a few hits, but there's really no switch-ins on our team if I predict it correctly. Now that's the thing, if I predict it correctly. Now if I see Chansey come in and I go for a close combat, she can easily go Amoonguss or Crobat or Chandelure, or even Mega Gallade can take a close combat. So it is a very dangerous to do Choice Scarf on Terr-akion, but I really wanted to outspeed the likes of Mega Gallade and want to 100% make sure that I outsped Garchomp, who can also be Scarfed as well. Next up, I have Heliolisk, and that is my special wall, and I'm holding the Assault Vest. Also with Volt Switch, Hyper Voice, Dragon Pulse, and Hidden Power Fire. I could not decide between Hidden Power Fire and Hidden Power Ice. Unfortunately, I cannot run both. I don't think I learned Ice Beam. Oh, what am I doing? What is going on here? What did I press? I don't know. Does it learn Ice Beam? No, Hidden Power Ice does not learn Ice Beam. So it was either Hidden Power Ice or a Fire move. And since the best it can learn is Fire Punch, I think. Yeah, Fire Punch or Hidden Power Fire. I had to go with Hidden Power Fire and Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse is obviously there for the Garchomp if it wants to switch in. It does about half, so that's really nice. Dragon Pulse is just there in case the Garchomp's there. I do outspeed the Garchomp unless that thing is Scarfed. So last but definitely not least, actually really not least, is Terr-akion. Haxorus. Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Poison Jab, and Earthquake. I really wanted to run Incinerate over Poison Jab, but I could not one-shot the Slurpuff if I did, and I needed to one-shot the Slurpuff. Like, actually, now that I have Rocks, hold up, Haxorus, hold up, Fortress, instead of Poison Jab. Mike, I might be copying you, move boy. I might be copying you. Nope, not good enough. Gosh, this thing is gonna be a pain in the ass. I really want to weaken this Fortress. I got nothing for it. No physical fire type. Nope. One fort. Does about half. Wait, why did that go up? Oh, it didn't. Does about half, so I guess. Nah, I'm just gonna run Poison Jab. Sorry, Mike, I'm not gonna copy you this time. But this is definitely my win, Mon. It actually does OHKO everything at +1. It really does. Except for obviously the Fortress. You can one-shot the Manaphy with Dragonium Z, one-shots the Chansey, one-shots the Sneasel, one-shots the Meloetta, can one-shot the Crobat, depends on what kind of variant Crobat is, one-shots the Coco and outspeeds after +1. Wait, do I actually outspeed it? 293. What is Tapu Coco's max speed? Actually, Adamant. I don't know if it does. Oh yeah, that definitely should. 293 times 1.5. 439. As long as she's not Scarf Coco, I do outspeed it. And if it's Scarf Coco, I can work my way around that a little bit better. So that's really good. But anyway, that will do it for this team preview. Next up is the battle. I'll be battling her on Sunday in the McDonald's parking lot. Look forward to that. Thank you guys for watching and enjoy the battle. Alright guys, before the PBA battle against Mandy, I do just want to say real quick, I changed the expert belt into Life Orb. I realized that I'm really not going to be hitting too many things super effectively, so I might as well get as much power as I can, 1.3 times. Yeah, sure, I'm going to get some damage taken away, but I think it's going to even out in the end with how much damage I'm going to be doing to it. So I think this is probably even better for me if I go Life Orb. So yeah, that's basically it. Now enjoy the battle. Guys, so we are here for PBA Week 1 against the Gainesville Goodrers, or Mandy the Turtle as the coach. And before I even say anything about this battle, I do want to say thank you so much for Mandy. She was so patient with this battle, especially, well, mainly in the early parts. As you can see right here, I left and joined multiple times, and for a good, like, 5 minutes. She must have been really annoyed with me, but she stayed through with everything and still made a very, very good battle. Super close. So, anyway, this was a very good battle. Again, I was at my internship. Well, I am at my internship, so I wasn't able to live record this, and good thing, because this would have been a very annoying live recording. I think I had to like take out Firefox for a little bit. The Wi-Fi was just not that great at McDonald's, so I'm probably gonna have to figure it out for the next time I'm down here. Battling and everything. But anyway, she decided to bring Manaphy, Garchomp, Mega Glade, Meloetta, Tapu Koko, and Chandelure. And looking at her team, I knew that Haxorus was going to do a lot of damage, between killing 2 to 3 to sweeping, somewhere along the line, as long as I set up on the right mon. And looking at our team, I thought there was only 2 mons I could have been able to do that. And that would have been the Chandelure, as long as does not have Ice Beam, or the Z move. I don't think it's a Z move anyway. Or the Meloetta, as long as it's not like, I want to say Dazzling Gleam. I'm pretty sure it has Dazzling Gleam. But anyway, I decided to lead off with Suicune, like I said I was going to. If she led Gallade, then I would have been able to live any hit that I wanted to. If she led Tapu Koko, then my Mirror Coat would have been able to come through. But she decided to lead off against Garchomp, and I was thinking she's probably going to go for Rocks, but she actually decided to switch out, probably looking for the Ice Beam there, as I don't know why my replay is just so slow right now. She does switch into Meloetta. That does show to me that she's probably Assault Vest. So anyway, I decided to switch out into Victini. And thought I can eat any hit that she would like. She actually has Knockoff, which is a very unfortunate switch-in for me. I should have went into Terr-akion in that case, but anyway, I'm kind of happy that I did switch so I didn't have to lose my Wakan Berry in case I needed Suicune for something later on the road. Looking at this, she's probably fearing a U-turn. Definitely does not want to take that with Meloetta, so she switches into Garchomp, and luckily I do go for the Glaciate, which it does do 50%, but unfortunately she is leftovers, so that means if it's the same roll, she will be able to live the second one, and in fact she does on 2%, same roll both times. Unfortunately, she did knock off my Life Orb. So, but she does go for the Stealth Rock, probably predicting my switch. But that does allow Victini to pick up the first kill for the Bouffalance this season with a Glaciate. And I thought this is probably a very good time for either Coco or Manaphy to come out, especially the Manaphy, thinking that I would switch in. I was thinking if Manaphy does come in, I'm probably just going to go for the Glaciate, make sure that she doesn't want to double, and then go for the Bolt Strike. In which I did switch into Bolt Strike, because apparently you can't have V-Create, Glaciate, and Fusion Bolt on the same same spread on Victini, so I had to change Fusion Bolt to Bolt Strike, which is less accurate but more powerful.
But instead she decides to go out into Chandelure, and I was thinking, why would she do that? In fear that I might have Shadow Ball, because I already showed that I'm Glaciate on my Victini. I can easily have Shadow Ball, so I decided to stay in and go for, I think, a U-turn, seeing what she wants to do, but she actually reveals that she is Scarfed, and I was thinking about that. Well, doesn't that let me set up with Haxorus? So I looked it up, and I should be able to live any Shadow Ball variant, Modest or anything, from a Scarf Chandelure. So I decided to go out into Haxorus. She goes for another Shadow Ball, as it does 75%, as I go for a Dragon Dance. And now I should be able to outspeed her entire team and do a lot of damage. I decided to go for the Earthquake, is able to take out the Chandelier, obviously, because Chandelier is not that bulky, and she decides to go out into Manaphy. And now Manaphy is the reason why I ran Draconium Z on it, on this Hatcher, so I can go for Draconium Z and take out the Manaphy with this devastating Drake. And that puts me up to 5 mons to 3. She goes into Meloetta now. I go for the Dragon Claw because I don't ran Dragon Claw instead of Outrage for the top Coco. That does a lot of damage as her Psychic is able to take out my Haxorus, obviously. So I'm gonna have to switch out into Terr-akion right now to pick up his first kill of the season as well. She definitely did not have any switches to Earthquake. So that was definitely good for me. And she decides to go out into Mega Glade. And now looking at the team, I was like, okay, I think I should be able to win this pretty easily, actually. All I have to do is switch out into my Gligar, and then maybe just defog away, and my Suicune should be able to just wall this thing and go for a Scald or something like that. I decided to switch out into Gligar, go for a defog, see if he has Ice Punch or something, but it turns out that he goes for a Sword Dance. So if I stayed in, Terr-akion would have just won, because he would have been able to outspeed, gone for an Earthquake, done over half. The next Earthquake would have done, would have killed, and Tapu Koko would not have been able to live 2 Earthquakes. But instead, he goes for a Swords Dance and a knockoff too. As I try to go for an Earthquake, trying to get as much damage off from this Glade. I was like, oh no, this is probably going to sweep me right now. Psycho Cut is able to take out the Gligar, and that just leaves 3 versus 2. And like, oh no, Suicune better live a hit. I hope I can Scald, because that's the only chance I have to winning this game. It goes for a close combat. Lives on 8%. Suicune, my boy, living on 8%. Able to Scald, brings it down to 25, and does in fact get the burn, but that doesn't really matter too much because the very next turn with Psycho Cut is able to take out the Suicune. That just does mean that I'm able to bring out my Terr-akion outspeed and will be able to take out the Glade. Now the only thing is, Earthquake is actually a roll. Adamant Earthquake is a roll on Tapu Koko if it's going to kill or not. So she brings out the Tapu Koko. It's a little bit in my favor. I think it was an 80% chance. So I go for an Earthquake right here, and just barely lives on 4%. I was like, maybe she has Dazzling Gleam. It could be pretty close. Thunderbolt's not able to kill, lives on 17%, and Terr-akion is able to pick up the win with that Earthquake as well. And the Bouffalants are now 1-0 in the PBA, looking pretty solid. 3 kills for Terr-akion, 2 for Haxorus, and even a kill for Victini. Unfortunately, I was not able to use AV Helioisk, but seeing that there was a special Coco, I think I would have been able to stall her out with Hyper Voice and such like that. But anyway, good game to Mandy. Thank you again for being so calm with the gosh, what am I trying to say? The disconnections earlier on in the battle. I really do appreciate it, Mandy. Good luck in the rest of the season for you, and we're going to be facing against the Philadelphia Starmies next week. Did they do the battle yet? I think they did, and I think they lost, unfortunately. So maybe we'll be able to put them at 0-2, but I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. It's definitely going to be a fun battle. I haven't faced Chris in a league battle in a very long time. But that'll do it for me in this battle. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.